I'm gonna give it a little bit for people to flock in. But in the meantime, yeah, when I ordered this deck, I've been like, oh, hurry up and get here. Because honestly, I think this deck is actually, of all the decks that are mass produced, I think this one's actually the one that's the most, best said, respectful in depicting the Goetia Divines. And it's in front of my face. I'm all over the place like a ping pong ball, going back and forth on a ping pong table. But anyway. So yeah, I'm just gonna float around a little bit, give people the time to come in if they're deemed fit. And then we'll go from there. But most certainly, it kind of confused me when I actually looked this deck up on Amazon. I was kind of all, what do you mean pre-order it? It said it was released sometime, a little bit of a while ago, but only order for pre-order. I think probably whoever listed it kind of forgot, oh, I gotta put that in a state where it can be ordered. Really? Yeah, you kind of do. Anyway, so without further ado, I guess we'll just get. Hey, Kayla. Figured I would just get the ball rolling. And hello, Fadwa. Okay, okay. Just heard something go in my ear and it was in the earpiece, but since I have people here now, I guess we'll just get this ball rolling. I'm just gonna light off one of these things real quick. Dragon's blood. I'm existing, not in a state or not a state, just neutral, like how I usually am most of the time. If I'm not content, well, something is done it. I'm usually alright most of the time. Neutral, not good, not bad, just existing. Okay. And if you're new here, yes, I get messed with by the brownies a lot. And if you know how brownies are, they're like, I'm gonna take that. And as soon as you start looking for it, and you start going crazy, we put it right in front of you and then laugh at you. And that's a sign the brownies actually like you. Because if they didn't do that, they wouldn't like you. Okay, now I'm gonna, oh, that doesn't sound bad if I say that. I'm gonna stick it there. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna let this thing, hello, Dolly. I'm just gonna let this thing just do its thing. I just had a bladed apparatus next to me, but, oh. Again, brownies, so. I got this from a website called Magic Planet, which is kind of, something you wouldn't expect this to come from. Magic Planet. It's kind of like, yeah, of all the things to name it, it would be that. But anyway, I'm like super excited to open this thing up. Okay, snippity snip, snipping the tip. I am not prepared for this. If I shriek like a schoolgirl, having a woozy woo moment because Senpai finally noticed her, you know why. Oh, really doesn't want me to get it, okay. There, no, has no choice. Literally. I said, don't mind me, that, ooh. Ooh, what's this? It came with a stone. Let's see. No freaking way. That's a bloodstone. Wow, I wasn't expecting to get a bloodstone. Wow. And how funny, I'm actually wearing a piece of like bracelets and a necklace that has a bloodstone on it. Bloodstone. Oh, and in case if you didn't know, bloodstone is one of those stones. Yes, love, you can hold on to it for the rest of the video if you'd like. I'm not saying no. And what's this bloody thing? Okay. So this look, even though it's the boxing is simple. There's Saturnus on the back. Oh, you tell me that's not gorgeous. No, you have to tell me that's gorgeous. If you say it's not gorgeous, you clearly do not understand the dark art. That is flawless. And it's a Goetia Tarot in Darkness, a deck by Fabio Lestrani by Lo Scarabiro. Typical. And the box, it is firm compared to, like, say, don't mind me, I have like 3,000 decks. In comparison to, say, like another deck with somewhat the similar box, this one's thicker than this one. This one's thinner. Like, this one can't take a beating. This one, if you need to take out somebody, yeah, this thing is firm. Doesn't even have a dent on that when I did that. Wow. But anyway, I'm really trying not to shriek like a schoolgirl, so don't mind me. Splendito. Oh, that is smooth. That just sounded so wrong. Oh, that is so smooth. The box, okay? Not that, you nasty. And here it is with that. Oh my lord, I can't even. I just can't. And there's 2 editions of this deck. Wow. There's the mass-produced, which is this one. And then there's the one that you can only... Yes, it glistens. There's this edition, which is the mass-produced, and I got it at magicplanet.com, of all the things. And I believe I put a link to where you can actually just go down below, click it, and then you can order it like that. And if you use another coupon code FLASH, I think, FLASH 15 or something like that, you'll get more percentage off. Use it. Anyway. So now let's crack open this thing. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I just know as soon as I open this thing, I'm just gonna screech. Cover your ears. No. And there's a total of 2 editions. There's this one, which is the mass-produced one. And then there's the one that was only... new book smell. Don't judge me. There's this edition, and then there's the edition which was pretty much only made by, like, Kickstarter, or it's something you backed the production of making this deck. So, that edition, the cards are made out of metal with silver edging on it. Oh, it's silver metal. And yes, cardstock that's made of metal. That's holographic. That's heavy. So you see how big these are. Probably add a little bit more thickness to it. And heavier. No, like these aren't heavy. But and the Kickstarter edition had some more talismans of like seals. And I think it came with something else, I'm not sure. But anyway, just like every little Scarabeo deck, it comes with a guidebook. But this guidebook is not one of those like, has a typical Low Scarabeo Little White Book. No, this one has a bit of thick to it. See here. Now, of course, there's the beginning. It's pretty much yeah. It pretty much goes into about the Goetia, and it's in a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 languages. We got English, of course, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and then it says in the front about saying how it is, explaining about the Goetia, how the shadows and demons are, based on the Goetia and how, King Solomon says it, but don't listen to that twatted. And let's see here. Yeah, but essentially the beginning of it all is explaining like how the Goetia is used and how the cards relate to one another, like on the Tree of Life and all that. But specifically, this card, what makes, this deck, oh, I just love how that, I just absolutely love how this graph is, like right here in the book. It's tiny, but actually has each card corresponding to like each certain Goetic divine, and it actually goes like this. So say for an example, the Goetic divine's name's here, and then the next one is the card, the meaning, the nature, the ruling planet, and the zodiac sign associated with it, and also the degrees. No, actually, what the traditional tarot would say about it. I thought that was the degrees, but if you know how astrology is, degrees matter a lot. So then, yep, it pretty much goes through all of that right there. It's kind of a shame that this little book, most of everything that's in English only goes up to that much. And some people be like, it doesn't really give me much to really work with at the deck. Well, this kind of a deck is one you have to engage yourself with. You can't just be like, what does this mean? You have to like really engage and sit with each card and really actually understand each divine that you pull from it. You have to really connect with it. And also because some people have complained, it's too dark, it's too gray, there's no color, boring. No. This is a deck you have to engage your subconscious, and you have to engage your darker aspect, and you have to allow that to come to the forefront in order to really understand and connect with it. It forces you to do it. And if you won't force yourself to do it, you're not going to be able to understand what's being said. This little thing decided to quit. So, I'm going to get this thing to flame back on again. Keep flaming. No. No. Okay, thank you, Milkshake. Okay, let's try this again. Hook it up. Now the fun part. To crack it open. Oh, God. Ugh. And the cardstock, right now, it's feeling right now kind of a bit thick, but not too thick like Tarot Z, and that thing is like a brick. Thick honker cards and cardstock, literally, you can take the stack of the deck and just hit somebody with it. It's that thick, and you can actually probably more than likely knock them out with it. So, gingerly, okay. Whoever decided to saran wrap this thing, probably, ooh, that is, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I can't help myself when I touch new cards. It's smooth. You tell me that you know. That is thick. Okay, cardstock check. So, here we go. Cardstock check. that thing when you say lit. So I decided, okay, if you don't want to work, out you go. So, anywho, cardstock check. Thick. And yes, this cardstock can take a beating. Firm. Yeah, it's good. And that was just a placeholder card, don't worry. So, this is what the back looks like. Here's the back. I don't know about you, but this is probably got to be my absolute favorite back so far of all time. Best ever. So, I'm going to start from the bottom upward. So here is our placeholder. Yes. Here's the placeholder card. Here's the back. And when you actually really engage yourself, like here, take a minute and really look, minus the glare, really take a look, and you can actually start seeing, oh yeah, they're also reversible. So if you deem fit to have, say, like a certain Goetic spirit, be like, I'm not really feeling you right now, you can do it reversible. But if you notice, the more you actually really gaze into it, it sounds a bit odd for me to say that, but specifically, if you do scrying, like say, using a dark mirror or a dark surface, you can even just use that. Scry in that little circle. That's what this deck is going to really, I got a big feeling it's going to excel with. Connecting to these Goetic Divines and actually really engaging your darker self and your subconscious self and bring it to the forefront. And also, using these cards to actually have, like say if you're doing a certain ritual, and if you actually want to have something to kind of show that, okay, this entity is, or this Goetic Divine is helping me in this regard. You can. So let's take it from the top. The bottom. Wherever. First one. Card number 1. We have King Baal. And let me grab my little notebook all the way over here, because as I'm reading each one of these divines' names out loud, I'm going to make sure that I properly address them by their title. That's just something I can't help deal with it. Come on. Okay, gonna get this out of my knife. Not really. Scooch. So I don't know why that thing these just decided to die. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Because yeah, I didn't. Oh, it probably did. Hold on. Give me just a second. Oh, no wonder. No wonder. I feel like it. Just a second. Just a. Sorry. Is my voice still audible? Can you hear me? I hope. If not. So, nonetheless, here we have our depiction of King Baal. Perfect. Here is King Baal, and this is the artwork. You have to engage your subconscious with it. You have to. Because if you look, you see the man figure. Yes. Yes, Luna. There's the there's the face with the man figure there. Then there's the one with the frog, and then there's the face of the cat. And if you notice too, on the side, you'll actually see the Goetic Divine's sigil, the card number. This was King Bale's card number 1, and this one's saying he's the King of Wands. So the best way to actually read, if you're going to be reading it like this, is probably using these cards in a way to actually really engage with each spirit. Like there's actually a spread that I actually posted in in the in a group that's actually all about the Goetia and all that. Actually do a spread that's a 3-card spread. The one that is like the first card is the certain Goetic divine that's backing you up, whether it's known or unknown. And then the next one is the one that is trying to get your attention and trying to communicate with you in the present moment, or is trying to forewarn you of something. And then the third one, well, I don't know. I'm for some reason I'm just having an urge to just go back to your, kind of gothic emo look. Okay, I'm gonna go with it, but nonetheless. And then the last card that comes out is the Goetic divine that's coming towards you, and pretty much it's an opportunity to prepare. So when they come towards you and they appear, oh, okay, you're already ready for me. Splendid. And you can prepare and actually prepare your questions or whatnot, just as an idea for a simple spread. Okay, there's King Bale, card 1. Next one is, oh, this is gorgeous. I love this. Next up is Duke Argris. I absolutely adore how this was depicted. And if you know Duke Argris, he is such a sweetheart. I mean, I'm already getting goosebumps. I just love how this is depicted. What is really interesting, in my opinion, in a way, he looks like he's similar looking to Pan, in a way. But also the falcon on his wrist, the way he is actually interacting it shows that he actually understands, yeah, how he's usually known to being able to teach others how to understand languages, even if it's not from like the same species, like human to animal. As an example, Argus can actually help you communicate with any of the spirits or any of the Goetic divines. He can actually help you learn to communicate and speak their language and being able to hear them effectively, metaphorically, still. And even heck, he can even teach you how to communicate with nature and understand it. Like the wind blowing, it's language, it's sound, just a little gem. Oh wait, I was going backwards. Next, we have Prince, this Prince Basago. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Here is how the depiction is of Prince Basago. I mean, I see these cards and I think whoever said that these cards and how they're depicted is like boring and meh, they can get pushed off a cliff because I don't know about you, but this makes me kind of want to shriek like a schoolgirl being noticed by senpai. And I don't do that at all. Because I mean, like I said, this deck is meant to make you be engaged with it. It's not supposed to be all woozy wooey. It's supposed to make you look and examine and connect. You also notice back here, oh, look at that. Is that a ghost head? Okay. Next is Marquise. Is Marquise. I'm gonna try and pronounce her name, so please make have mercy on my soul if I mispronounce it. Marquise Gamagan. And this Goetia divine is the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm intrigued that she's depicted as kind of a centaur depiction. I'm not really familiar with her. I'm saying her because the depiction showing her as a woman, as a feminine figure. The moon in Aries. Okay. Full moon in the background. Hmm. And what I like about it too, it's not actually pointing out being like, okay, here's all the pentacles, here's all the wands, here's all the cups, here's all the majors, and here's the twigs, wands. No, wait, the swords, the things that people are afraid of the most with tarot. This one actually goes by sequence of like, here's 1, 2, 3, all the way up to number 72. The one that I'm some of the most familiar with is almost the last one. Okay, the next up we have President Marvis, Mercury in Aries. Look at that. Wow. That is majestic. And I don't care what anybody says. Nope. Well, the best way for me to describe the Tarot Kraken is that essentially each Tarot deck it's kind of it has its own language. They all speak differently. Like one deck can say a message in a certain way, then another one can say the same card, but the message is completely different. Next up is Duke Valvor. Venus in Aries. Now this is interesting because it's unknown if Valvor is the thing having the like the horse figure going around it, or if it's that. I'm not entirely sure because I'm not familiar with Duke Valvor, but in this depiction, he is the Fool card. And I completely forgot to mention it too. Duke Argris is the Page of Wands. Prince Visago is the Four of Wands. Marquise Donegan is the Queen of Pentacles. And President Marbus is actually the Hierophant. I'm not going to call him a He-Who-Font because that's disrespectful. I'm not going to do that. And I don't think, he would teach by intimidation and saying, if you don't follow what he does, he's going to send you to heaven. Yeah, just to be funny instead of like being sent to, you know, if yeah, that BS. But Duke Valvor is the Fool card. Next one, I know this one. Marquise Amon. Yes, Benjamin, I do. It's not hard. It's just that the best way to actually learn a tarot deck is to go through the whole deck. It's just go through the whole deck, buy buy all 78 cards, or if you're lucky enough to get a deck that has 79 or more, go through each card, and this is how you connect with it. Say two things you feel while looking at this image, and then two things you see. Here's an example. Two things I see. Well, for one, I see a jackal head or canine head right there, or a horse head, and it also seems to be having a body of a snake. How do I feel? Protected. Because, yeah, it's going around, and when usually you have something going around you like that, it does provide a sense of, like, security. And also, well, I wouldn't say supportive, but kind of, it's when you have somebody, like, watching out for you, you have, like, a protector. I feel protected and secure. Because because Duke Valivor may be speaking to whichever this thing is. Might even be the same Might be him altogether, but in this case, I'm just going with it. This is actually looking like it's getting guidance from Jackalhead. So this part is being advised by the Jackalhead. And you just go through all the cards until you start all over again and you do it all over again to try and pick out something different. Here comes Marquise Amon. Oh my lord, Lanta. Oh my, oh, I love it. Here's Marquise Amon. Um, Jupiter in Taurus, he is seen as the Eight of Swords. Marquise Amon. Good lord, Lanta, that is majestic. I don't even need to see the rest of the deck. Oh, I'm actually really excited when we. No, I'm going to say that one because I think it might be near the end, but we'll get to it. Next is Duke Barbados, and he is the Nine of Swords. And Venus in Taurus. I love it. Oh man, I'm starting to hear that conga line again. If you know what I'm talking about, you know who's next. Yep, number 10. You know who this is? I hope. Yes, the one, the only, King Paimon. My lord, I can't even. Look how flawless that is. Literally. In a nutshell, minus the, obnoxious elephant with the symbols and, the conga line of, divinities going in front of me and, the cats blowing the horns. Instead, we have the men blowing the horns behind the King Paimon and the camel is in front. But what I just love how this is depicted, I just love how he's kind of like he's being depicted as somewhat like a puppet, if you noticed. But I mean, nonetheless, I think this is gorgeous. Sun and Taurus, number 9, and an eclipse happening in the background. At least for me, yeah. In a way, it also does kind of make sense, when I first encountered this majestic king. It kind of does make sense, when I first encountered him doing like a helicopter kick to his feet, like like how breakdancers like throw their legs around like that, a helicopter kick. Yeah, when he got to me and the camel sat down, I told him, "Wow, that's quite the entrance there." He just looked at me and said, "Okay." Helicopter kicked himself to his feet and walked towards me and said, "I'm a king. What'd you expect?" Well played, King Paimon. Well played, but still, that is majestic. It's like each card I look at, I'm getting more and more into a candy store. Next is President Bear. That is, oh, I love this. President Bear is a sweetheart too. He is the King of Cups, President Bear, which makes perfect sense. I don't know when I just look at this depiction of President Bear, I just feel like I'm there's somebody listening to me, like he's engaged with you. Like you can actually use this card of meditation to just connect, and he'll be like your psychologist and just listen and give you mature emotional nourishment, care, and guidance. Because that look on his face looks like he's really focusing in on you and listening. I just love how these are depicted. Next is Duke Gushin. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, my mistake. And he is the card of Temperance, Venus and Taurus. To me, he doesn't look angry. President Burr looks like he's focused and determined to like help assist you because he is also related to, believe it or not, is believed to be Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is owned by Jupiter, which is known as like the one who sees on behalf of the divine and gives you the best guidance. And funny enough, the next card is Temperance, which is a Sagittarius card, which is again Jupiter. But this specifically is saying Venus and Taurus. And funny enough, Venus and Taurus, actually Venus, is also a guru figure. And what I love about this is that for this depiction of Duke Gushin and it being Venus in Taurus, potentially this depiction can actually say that Duke Gushin is really pushing the idea to really enjoy your senses. Transform yourself and allow yourself to synthesize with something else to actually create a new state of being for you. Engage your physical senses more. At least that's how I see that card. But I mean, that, I can't, oh my god. Ugh. Literally, this deck needs a lot, a lot of for it. Okay, here comes another one I know. And if you were in the live stream many moons ago, when I had an invitational to this prince, you kind of heard him in the background growl. Next is the one and only Prince Citri. Oh gosh. And you know what's just so coincidental? It just so happens to be the Queen of Cups. And if you're new here, the Queen of Cups is essentially my intuitive significator card. In other words, my first deck, I looked at the Queen of Cups, and I'm just like, I don't know why I'm drawn to this card so much, but I'm gonna go with it. This is Jupiter in Taurus. And what I really like about this depiction is Prince Citri is actually really bestowing to these people like the ability to deeply connect with one another with the cups, restoring them to being able to have that emotional awareness. Yeah, because usually for this deck, there is no color. It's all dark because it's supposed to engage your subconscious. But each one, you have to really engage with it. And if you know what each Goetic divine specializes in, for example, Prince Citri is known to be one that invokes the nasty, and also makes people expose themselves in that way. But now, it being the Queen of Cups, being the card that is associated with this deck, Prince Citri is actually potentially saying you have to be able to fully expose yourself, be completely vulnerable to actually have that deep, unconditional love and actually have it be deeply connected. You have to be willing to, excuse me, you have to be willing to expose yourself so bearingly. That's a weird word. You have to be willing to bear it all and be so vulnerable in order to understand what real deep love is. And that's the Queen of Cups. It's wet and extra wet. So you have a lot of wetness there. It's like the love that's unconditional and it can't be tainted. Next up, we have King Bala. King. Ooh, love it. King Ballet. I like how I like below him. There's people like I'm not sure if they're friends. Oh yeah, they're skeletons. Oh, some of them are. Five of Wands, Sun and Gemini, and yeah, it looks like he's somewhat like a manticore. I'm not complaining. I love it. Next is Marquise Narage. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at this gorgeous depiction. Oh my lord, that makes you think, oh shoot, I think I just stepped at the wrong forest. I love this. Literally, this deck automatically already has a 10 out of 10 for me. And no, I'm not just saying that, just to get brownie points from these Goetia defines. No. Like, I love how this. I can't get over it. Next is Duke Eligos. Venus in Gemini. The Seven of Wands. Hmm. Next is Duke Sipar. It is the Knight of Pentacles. Venus in Gemini yet again. Look at this one. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's the Knight of Pentacles, number 16. Our next one is President Botus, Page of Pentacles. Oh, I see. It took me a second. I'm like, where is he? Oh, in front of my face. Mars and Gemini. This is a very interesting depiction because it made you think, I don't even see him. Oh, wait a minute. I love it. Next is Duke Bethan. It is the Ten of Pentacles, Venus and Gemini again. But look at that. It's like, oh, um, Duke Bethan, did you happen to you know, yoink Odin's horse, Grand Theft Horse? Oh, well, it is what it is. He only had one eye, so I don't know if he could, giddy up the, as effective as he could. And at the very top, there's the Gemini stars thing. Next, oh, I'm so happy and I'm ready for this one. Next is Duke Zabos, or actually Count Zabos, or Duke Solas. He's a real gentle sweetheart, even though he may look like he's ready to go knighting. Solas. What is it? The Two of Swords. Venus in Cancer. Wow, look at that. That is completely different than you would expect him. Oh no, you can definitely just keep speaking. Absolutely. If you want to speak or say anything, please don't think you can't speak or say anything. Gorgeous. And it's interesting because usually Solas and Duke Arteris together, they kind of share the similarities with the crocodile. This case is a bit different. You have a crocodile-headed snake instead. Very interesting. Next is King Persian. It is the Three of Swords, Sun in Cancer. Hmm. Wow, I just love how that looks. Next is Earl and President Marox. Mercury in Cancer is the Four of Swords. Gorgeous. Next is Earl and Prince Ipos. Oh, that is beautiful. I love this. It is in Jupiter in Cancer, which is Jupiter in exaltation point. Earl and Prince Ipos. Oh, that is beautiful. I love it. And it's strength. And you're probably thinking, strength? How? If you look, you can kind of see a figure just staring back at you. You gotta really look though. Again, you gotta really engage your senses and really hone in. Next is Duke Aim. I'm. And this is the Six of Cups. Venus in Cancer. What's really interesting so far? The cup cards, most of the cups are like tipped over. They've fallen over. They're not standing at full. Very interesting and very differently. Next is Marquise Nabaris, Moon in Cancer, the natural placement. And the Moon. This is the Moon card for this deck. Beautiful. I really want to see how this shuffles. Okay. Hmm. Never mind. I'm trying to make this quick because I have another application I have to do in a little bit. So next is okay. Next is President and or Earl Galesa Labalas. It is Mercury in, is that Leo? Yeah, Mercury in Leo. The Eight of Wands. Next is Duke Ooh, beautiful. Duke Bune. This is the Judgment card. I mean, I love this Judgment card. You have Venus and Leo, but look, surrounded by like grave markings and the look on her face, I can't. Again, next is Marquise and or Earl Renault, the Ten of Wands. But this depiction of the Ten of Wands, this is Mars and Leo, by the way. This depiction actually has him holding it like no issue and kind of wanting to actually, kind of like reminding you like it's not that difficult. I work for these and I own them. But also there's some teeth there. Hmm. Interesting. And he's the Ten of Wands in his deck. Next is Duke Bareth. He is the Two of Pentacles. Venus in Leo. Maybe, darling, this might be a sign that maybe they're saying, get this deck, please. Look at that. Just love it. Next, I mean, if it so happens that um I I mean if she is here, yay. If not, well, it is what it is. If Black Witch from Black Witch Coven Savannah, if she's here, yay. If not, well, here is Duke Astaroth. I'm excited. Ooh, the King of Pentacles, Venus in Leo. Look at this. Wow. And I love like to Astaroth's right. There's a huge pile of books right there. And yes, from what Savannah said about Duke Astaroth agreed to assist anybody that has gone within the coven to help learn. Like, God, perfect with this and absolutely beautiful. Next is Marquise Fornes, Moon in Leo, Four Pentacles. Next is one of my favorite kings. And if you know which king that always somehow just see him just laughing and and he just seems so jolly when he's laughing. But he's breathing fire. No, that's air. He's having a good chuckle. Here is the one and only King Asmodeus. Right. Oh, my mistake. Not yet. He's next. This is actually President for us. My apologies, President. And he's the Page of Swords. Ooh, and I like that. Mercury in Virgo, which is Mercury in its own sign, and it's an exaltation point. Page of Swords, and he's also writing a contract. Okay, now the one and only King Asmodeus. Now the king. Sun in Virgo, the King of Swords. Bam! And yes, he still looks jolly to me. Deal with it. Next is President and Prince Ngap. Jupiter in Virgo, the Seven of Swords. I just love how these cards are. They're just majestic. Wow. Next is Earl Furfur. Mars in Virgo, the Page of Cups. I can't even. Gorgeous. Flawless. Next is Marquise Marcosius. Moon in Virgo. The Nine of Cups. I think, I like how he is. A wolf's head with a lion body with feathers. Yeah, I can dig him. Unless if it's supposed to be. Oh, I thought there was a figure like standing on the back of his head. Never mind. The Moon in Virgo, Nine of Cups. Wow. And this one, Lilith actually has a really deep connection with Prince Stolos. Jupiter in Virgo, the Ten of Cups. Look how gorgeous that is. Whoa, my sweet Lord Lanta. I just got goosebumps again. Next is Marquise Phoenix. Moon in Libra. I was an eclipse there. Next we have Earl Halphus. Mars in Libra. This one you really have to look. Then after Halphus comes President Malphus. Wow. Mercury in Libra. Look at this. Then look at this one. Whoa. Next we have Earl Wardam. Mars in Libra again. Oh, and I forgot to mention, let me scooch back a bit. There's Ten of Cups. Marquise Phoenix is the Two of Wands. Earl Halphus is the Three of Wands. Malphus is the Tower. Earl Rom is the Five of Pentacles. Next we have Duke Lockler, and he is the Six of Pentacles. Venus in Libra. They're not he's not crucified. It's actually like the front of on the front of his ship. We're not going to be putting our respected divines on something that used to be, a representation of a man part that's pointing at something, if you catch my drift. We're not going to put them on there, no. The other guy that was on there, yeah, good enough. Whoa, wow. Gonna give me the V. Next is Duke of Vipar. I mean, I love it. It was just unexpected. Venus in Libra. The Duke of Vipar. Gorgeous. Next is Marquise Sabnock, the Knight of Swords. Seven of Pentacles, and then the one before Six Pentacles. Yeah, Marquise Sabnock is the Knight of Swords. Moon in Scorpio. Next we have Marquise Shocks, another moon in Scorpio. Next we have, I love this depiction. Next we have King and Earl Vine, Sun in Scorpio. He's the Sun. The one before is the Queen of Swords, or in this way I like to call Queen of Swords the Queen of Sass, but this one's not really. At least with this depiction, Marquise Jacques doesn't seem to be very sassy, very inward with the mind. And King and Earl Vine is the son. Next we have Earl Bifronos, and I'm saying she because it appears to be feminine. Two of Cups, Mars and Scorpio. Next we have Venus in Scorpio, Duke Vol. I love how he did Agante. Because Agante is actually the first Goetic divine that I interact with. President Agante, Mercury in Scorpio. Next we have Duke Purcell, and this depiction has her as the Queen of Wands, Venus in Sagittarius. Next we have Knight Burkross, which is Saturn in Sagittarius, and he is the Hermit. Next we have King Balm, Sun in Sagittarius, and his card is the Wheel of Fate, or the Wheel of Fortune. I like to call it the Wheel of Fate. Next we have Duke. I guess the Eight of Pentacles, Venus in Sagittarius. Next we have President Kame, Nine of Pentacles, Mercury in Sagittarius. Next we have Duke and Earl Murmur, Venus in Sagittarius, and the Empress. I love how she's depicted as a Sphinx. I can't even. Okay, I'm back. Next we have Prince Urbos. I love this depiction. And the card is the world. Look how gorgeous that is. Especially for Prince Urbos being so supportive and actually always having good intention for whomever asks for help. Yeah, beautiful. This one's interesting. Now we have Duke Gremory, Venus in Capricorn. Usually Duke Gremory is usually just find new love. She's the death card, of which that makes sense. To actually go from a state of being alone and having no love, that and finding somebody new and a new endeavor to really put your heart into, that kills that state of having nothing and transforming into something much better. I just love how she's depicted. You know, she's not riding a camel similar to King Paimon. And also, there's a crab down there. Next is President Ose. The Hangman, Mercury and Capricorn. Here's how it's interesting. In the tree, but there's nothing hanging. Nobody's hung. Makes you think. Next is Marquise. Wait. Next is President Amy, Mercury and Capricorn. Next now we have President Ose, or Orius. Moon and Capricorn, the Knight of Cups. And President Amy was the Five of Cups. Marquise Orias is the Knight of Cups, Moon and Capricorn. Oh my lord. Beautiful. Next is Duchess or Duke Vapula, Venus and Capricorn, the Seven of Cups. Next we have King and President Sagong, the Emperor, Sun in Aquarius. Beautiful. I love how this one is. Next we have President Valak, Mercury in Aquarius, the Nine of Wands. You know, it's really funny. And how, to me, it kind of does make sense why, whenever I talk about Marquise Andres, I'm just like, it's just Marquise Andres. I don't know. To me, I kind of don't really understand why people are like, don't make the wrong move. You make the wrong move, he'll afflict you with dread. Then when I just saw his card, he's the Knight of Wands, by the way. His placement is Moon in Aquarius. Funny enough, my Moon's Aquarius. Maybe that's why, we connect well. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if you just saw that, but I saw it. I really just thought for sure his head right there just twitched. Went from like that, like Marquis Sandros. So nice to see you again. Next is Duke Horace. The Justice card, Venus in Aquarius. We're getting close to the end of all this, pretty close. Next we have Marquise Androphilius, Moon in Aquarius, which is this picture is having this Marquise be a peacock, or not Argus, Hera's beloved who got killed by Mercury and was preserved as a peacock. Next we have Marquise Samius, the Chariot, Moon in Aquarius. A lot of Moon in Aquariuses. Next we have Duke Amdusius, Venus in Pisces, the Five of Swords. And the one for Marquise Androphilicus was the Three of Pentacles. Duke Amadeus is the Five of Swords, Venus in Pisces. Next we have King Belial, Sun in Pisces. Look at this beauty. Wow. I was not expecting that to be depicted this way. Because usually the way that this Goetic divine is depicted is just like a starfish, or shaped like a star. I saw what you did. You moved something. Yeah, like there was some kind of movement like behind my little ring thing. I'm like, I saw that. Nice to see you're all here too. Next we have Marquise de Carbia, the star, moon in Pisces. Look at this beauty. Literally flawless. Next we have Prince Seer, Jupiter in Pisces, the Eight of Cups. This is an interesting depiction. A centaur with wings. But I still love it. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm about to cry because this is actually number 71. Literally, this is the one that I'm most close to, and I'm speechless. Number 71, Duke Dantalion, Venus in Pisces, the High Priestess. I can't even right now. Flawless. Look how beautiful that is. Like I'm literally tearing up. Just perfect. And the last Goetic Divine of them all for the Goetia, we have Earl Andromachilius, the Magician. Mars in Pisces. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are left. Let's see who they are. Actually, let's have let's let's play. Let's have some fun with this. I'm not even looking at them. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, here. We'll do this. Pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody pick one number, and then we'll go from there. Number between 1 and 6. We're gonna go exactly like this. One may be Lucifer, one may be Satanus, one may be Lilith, and the other three, I have no idea who they could be. Let's see. Yeah, making this interactive. Come on, people. 6, okay. Does everybody agree number 6? 6, 1, okay. 6, then 1. Okay, I'm just gonna go with 6 and then 1. Number 6, the Ace of Swords. Libra and Gemini Aquarius, the sword. 1 through 6, Dolly. 1 through 6, but 6 also got picked. So here's number 1. Number 1, oh, beautiful. Look who it is. The one and the only enlightened bestower, Lucifer. Venus in Capricorn. Lucifer Guru, the enlightened one. Look how beautiful he is depicted. Venus in Capricorn. And I'm going with the degree specifically of Abjit, which is the very beginning of Capricorn, which is the place, which is the degrees 6 to 14, which are the degrees of offshoot, which is the lunar mansion of victory. Absolutely flawless. So now there's only 4 left. I'll pick one. Here is the vessel. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, or Ace of Cups. The urn. I love it. There's only 3 left. I'm going to go with the middle one next. Is this going to be our lovely lady? Nope, not yet. The Ace of Pentacles. The disc. There's only 2 cards left now. There's only 2 cards left. Which one is it going to be? I have no idea which one's which. I'll go with this one. Nope. It's the Ace of Wands. Of course. That can only be one thing. I'm already getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. I can't help it. And I don't even know if I can handle this because I just know for a fact that she's all, of course, the best is saved for last. Come on, hon. You're not new here. Last card. The ever so lovely Lilith. Black Moon Lilith in Gemini. Absolute perfection right there. I can't even. Just perfect. And she's a lover's card. And in the one that you can actually, the other edition, which has it back, there is I believe Astrate is also an alternative lover's card for this deck, as well as the other one being Satanas, which is this one. I'm kind of upset that this version wasn't also included because I was expecting to actually have this alongside the one for Lucifer and just have them both side by side for like a meditation thing. hmm But still, the best depiction and also respectful image of Lilith, even though some people be like, well, she's never wearing a shirt. Don't even pay attention to that. I'm going to give you one way of reading this card as a little bonus. Down below, you see the man figure and the woman figure. Two people come together. Divinity forms, which is Lilith. With that in mind, both of them are looking up to her. And when you look up to someone, you're learning from them. What is another thing that Lilith's all about? Equal treatment, fair treatment. Lilith is teaching the two to give and take equally, 50-50. Nobody is more important than the other. You have to be able to negotiate and work alongside one another. You must do it. Be fair. That's how you have a real deep connection with Gemini. Absolute perfection. Literally, if not the one of best decks ever. So, that is the Goetia Tarot of, what was it again? Goetia Tarot in Darkness. I just love the back. And going through each of the cards, I have to, for me personally, oh, this shuffle is so majestic, so smooth, and it's it's a thick deck. Oh my gosh, that's so majestic. I can't get over this deck. 10 out of 10. That's it. If you don't like colors in this deck, it doesn't matter what you think. Just get the bloody deck. Get it. And I really don't care what you have to say. Just get the bloody deck. Trust me. Invest in something good, and this is one of those things which is good. Yeah, I know. I'm like, even when I actually ordered this deck and was like impending for it to finally come, I was like getting overly giddy every time I thought about the deck. Like, oh yeah, it's coming. Oh gosh, I'm so nervous when it comes though. But either way, so really that is Goetia, Tarot in Darkness. Fine, I'll do one pull, a pull or two. So we shall see what comes out of it then. Alright, let's see here. I'm also pretty blown away by like how they, and also there was another depiction of, who was it? The Magician? Yeah, there was another alternative artwork for the Magician. It was actually King Solomon himself. And I mean, if that card was actually included with this, I mean, to be completely honest, if it was an alternative art, I would kind of be all like, oh, King Solomon, meh with you. That's what you get for being a disrespectful twathead. Well, I'm gonna force him in triangle. Do you want to get backhanded across the face? I don't care if you're king. If you're rude and considerate, you're rude and considerate. Okay, let's see. My first pull with this deck. Okay, how about this? One card pull of the Divine. Left, well, actually, Goetia Divine or the other ones, or the aces. Draw me one card for the current state, if you would. Okay, fine. Really, Dantalian? Really? Stop laughing at me, dude. Somehow I had a hunch that was gonna happen, but anyway, I just love this deck. So, if you are of the left-hand path, and if you actually do work with or invest with these divines of the left, I highly recommend that you get this deck. Because not only is this deck much better, in my opinion, to the Occult Tarot, it's, to me, more superior, but that's my opinion. It's also better than the Daemon Tarot, which is more of an Oracle deck, in my opinion, but still. This one, I have to say, is probably the best one out of all of them, if you want to actually connect to these divines and really connect to them. And if you actually are capable of also reading them effectively, that too. But primarily, to me, this deck excels in connection and bringing your subconscious forward to read with it. So, overall, this deck, it's a literal gem. Literally. Don't, yep. But I have to say this, don't be like how I am right now with like the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. It's out of print, and the only way you can get it is if you take a look on eBay. Man, that's a few $600. Don't be like me with a Bohemian Gothic Tarot. Get this deck now when you have a chance on Magic Planet. I have the link below. Please, don't regret it. Get this before, gone forever. So, it is a good investment. And if you're actually really doing work and actually getting to know these divines, this is actually, again, like I said, the best deck to use to connect. So, really, that's all I have. And I hope you guys enjoyed this walkthrough and live video of 85 minutes of shenanigans, and also giving recognition to each and every of these majestic divine beings and the 4 random cards for the elements. And I will see you all on the next video tomorrow.